to make it. Tell me, is it left to try? Where do we run? Where do we run? Where do we
And we're live. Welcome to APL's presentation of the Kickoff. This is Asia's first Psionics sponsored tournament. It's the big one. So welcome to the stream. I've got with me Max Formal, as you can see on your screens right now. How are you going, Max?
Yeah, I'm actually incredibly excited for this tournament, the Kickoff Asia edition. I think this is one of the largest money tournaments that this region has seen to date. Definitely from a community tournament sort of backing, that is for sure. Obviously, our APL, a lot of times we kind of do those community funded tournaments. Well, not this time. Psionics was so gracious to give us a pretty significant sum of money right now, and we're still in that process of figuring out who really is going to be competing for it. This is our first day of qualifiers for the Asian bracket, and I'm excited to see who steps up.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people have stepped up in the past for the funding for our previous tournaments, but this is Psionics backed. We are finally here, guys, so get really hyped for that. As you said, though, we've got a lot of teams here today. Our first one's up are Zephyrs v Integrity, but let's go through some of the teams we'll see today before we look at them. We've got Era and Velfire is our top bracket, actually. Why don't you take us through a couple of the players there?
Oh, what? Oh, from our Rhea and Velfire? I mean, sure,
Yeah.
we can take a look at that. I think that's being happened by our Japanese co-casters on the other side, but they've got Easel, Balaris, as well as Bunny Dummy on the Era side, and on Velfire you have Maru, of course, Tenhao, and Battle Lian, and that is just two very stacked teams going at each other. Obviously, only one of them will be qualifying right now on that winner's half. However, when we're going down on that other side, the game we're about to cover, that's going to be Zephyrs versus Integrity. Two other banging rosters right now on Zephyrs. You have Piesta Akiatsu. Again, I pronounced that incorrectly. My apologies. Plasma as well, taking on Integrity with Psycho 13, Sipso, and Jason. These are two very strong sides. This is going to be a very exciting game. Obviously, you win this best of 5, you qualify for that main event, you start competing for that larger prize pool. So a lot of pressure I'm feeling on these teams, but at the same time, they did make it through the winner's bracket for that first attempt. So some confidence as well.
Yeah, there's been a few upsets. As you said, Era v Velfire is going on in the Asian B stream, so if you get a chance, go over and check that out at some point tonight. But for the main show right now, we've got Zephyrs and Integrity. They've had to go through fairly rigorous tournaments so far already to get this point. Zephyrs have just beaten out one in the esports 3-1. Pretty big beat for Zephyrs, actually. Zephyrs being Peseta, Plasma, Akakansu, and Sola as the sub. Akakansu is probably one of the more current names you're used to, but Peseta and Plasma have been around a long time. They're definitely some of the old guard here, but they're back to play today, and they've made it all the way to the winners semi-final. So it's going to be really good to see them battle this out. And then on the side of Integrity, they've taken down Ooga Booga 3-0. So again, a really good win for them. Integrity has some big names that you'll recognize with Psycho 13, Sipso, and Jason. Their sub is Rids. So we're able to send them in immediately, and we're going to start our rounds for you right now. Enjoy the matches.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. As you can see, going straight into the action. We are kicking off this best of 5 series. Win and you are in. Lose and, well, you will get that second chance down in the losers bracket. So it's all about setting an early and aggressive tempo. I would have to feel Little Plasma going to be the first one with possession of the ball, immediately losing it to Psycho, who puts a touch on target, but Akakansu already there for the save.
Little Plasma's going to try and chase this out. He's got that off wall. Sipso's up. Can't make a touch. Psycho does make a touch just in front of his own net. Akakansu was chasing. There's a shot from Sipso. A big whiff from that blue side, and Sipso gets the first goal from Integrity. Zephyrs is not going to be happy with that.
Yeah, Integrity already coming out, I feel like, looking like that stronger team. They're the ones who forced already a couple of opportunities in those first 15 seconds, able to follow through and actually capitalize it on that second attempt right there. And a little bit of a slower start for Zephyrs, although off of this kickoff, they're going to find that answer as Akakansu is accredited for the goal.
Yeah, Zephyrs really putting on a lot of aggression as well. The Integrity did seem to have the better play in those opening few seconds, but we're still only 32 seconds into this match and a goal per side, so a lot of adjustment left in these teams before we really see what either one is made of. They're definitely going to have some time to feel each other out here. This is a best of 5 as well.
Yeah, absolutely, which means you get that time to adjust. You get to feel out who the aggressive players are, who might be going more passive, and then adjusting your play accordingly. Akakansu cheated up forward, makes a great read off of that touch, puts another shot on target, and you can see already the Zephyrs, they are trying to establish something right here. Sipso going to look for that pass actually to clear the offensive line, and it's a pretty good one. Plasma doesn't get the touch he's looking for, but Psycho, a little too far forward as well, is unable to get underneath that ball, is forced to back pass it to Sipso, who tries to get that clear. Jason's actually the one who gets that big boomer. An interesting touch, just try to throw it back to Jansen. However, the defense is already there waiting, and they're looking for a counterattack.
Sipso, that's going to go high right in front of net. That's going to go off backboard. Akakansu nearly reads it. He did have to come horizontally across that bar. It's almost a goal fired back. In retaliation, can't quite make it happen, and Akakansu now blocked away. It's going to go out to midfield. Little Plasma sends it up. Akakansu won't be able to get to that. Psycho down to Sipso. Sipso can't block the setter. Setter into the corner. He's looking for a center here. A little bit of a miss. Will let it center, but Akakansu's not there to take it in time. Sipso up.
Sipso's up, but Akakansu's there to catch it. Already, I'm noticing there's a fair few more passing plays actually coming from the Integrity side as opposed to the Zephyrs, who are going more for that individual push. A lot of times it has been Akakansu kind of needing to get that big bang defensive player in order to set up this blue side, whereas Integrity, a lot more dynamic approaches coming from their offensive pressure at this stage of the game. Now, typically, I tend to like the teams that are more willing to pass, that are more willing to open up the backboard through, I guess, misdirection and trickery at times. However, I've also seen some amazing individual plays in the past, in fact, earlier today. So I'm not going to credit the sort of I'm going to out-neck you type situations. Akakansu, definitely a player to watch in that regard, says he's setting himself up right now. Let's see what he can do with some boost. He didn't quite get that flip reset off the ceiling like he was looking for, so this attack will fizzle short for now.
Jason. Good clear downfield. Akakansu will be able to take that to his backboard. Stays safe. Sipso looking for a center. Can't get a Little Plasma. Out.
Oh, what a
Akakansu
touch.
gets it over Jason. Nice little touch, yeah.
And that was what I was talking about before. Akakansu at times might be able to get those cheeky little touches that might get the defense napping. Granted, that time Little Plasma actually probably deserves the MVP for that goal. He was the one who set it up, and it was just Akakansu being in that right place to bang it through. Either way, it is the Zephyrs now with that 1-goal lead. Under 2 minutes remaining off of the kickoff, they're also nearly able to find another. The defense for Integrity starting to look a bit more panicked under the pump.
Yeah, and I do agree with what you said. Integrity does seem to have the more calculated passing plays here, but the pressure coming off of Zephyrs right now is just brutal. There's another shot, comes off crossbar. Great placement there. Sipso didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do when the crossbar is helping out your opponents like that. Pesedia just putting the absolute banger of a touch off of that crossbar and into the goal. A fantastic 2-goal cushion right now for Zephyrs, one that they're going to be quite comfortable with as we get to those dying moments of game number 1.
Kansu away. Still looking for more pressure. They are up by that 2 with 1 minute left. It's a fairly safe barrier right now, but if they can get another one and get a good roll into the next match, Zephyrs are going to look for that. There's good pressure by Integrity finally coming out now. The setter, good second touch. He's looking for a shot. That's actually very close off that post, and Plasma can just clean it up.
Yeah, Peseta did such a great job in setting it up. Yeah, he did not get the goal in this instance, but he did just enough, especially with that bump onto Psycho at the very end to throw the defender off balance, open that doorway for Little Plasma to close it shut. And with that, I think it's also closing shut the chances for Integrity to actually find a win in this opener. It seemed as if after the first couple minutes or so, the Zephyrs really were still trying to warm up, really trying to get to that full speed, but now we are here and quite quickly, already bumps still coming through, trying to open up another doorway for Akatsansu, but it's Little Plasma instead who will force that ball through the box and make it a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, Plasma doing really well now. Akakansu had a lot of the early game plays, but Plasma's positioning and awareness and his just understanding of how Integrity's playstyle works right now is really pulling through. I do think Integrity is going to have to work very hard to cover the mistakes they're making. What a shot from the setter!
Yeah, Peseta with a bit of an aerial dribble right there, and we're at the stage of this opening game where we're starting to get a little freestyle-y almost right now. Whether be it through bumps and the ground or up in the sky, there's just no answer for this Zephyrs attack. And for Integrity looking forward in the series into game 2, into game 3, they're going to have to try and find something to mix things up a bit, because right now they're just being easily manhandled by this blue side.
That was one of the highest, slowest musty flick goals I've seen. Really interesting. Akakansu up the wall. He's looking for a pass out to midfield. Sipso's there. Setter's going to beat him out and should score. It bounces high. Plasma's there, and he will shoot that down in. It's going to be a Brazil game 1, 7-1 to Zephyrs.
And that goal is opened up by the double commit to the back of the net by 2 members of Integrity. Instead of trying to go for that E-break turn, Little Plasma is given that extra bit of time to just put the ball wherever he wants. And of course, he's going to sink that into the back of the net. Viva la Brazil in our opening game of these qualifiers. Certainly not something I was expecting, but exciting nonetheless. The demo injection should ice the deal, and Zephyrs take game 1 quite handily.
Zephyrs doing really well this first game. I do feel like Integrity is going to be able to learn from this and come back a little harder. Psycho actually asking for some time to restart his game here, so possibly some issues there contributing as well. But very tough game for Integrity. It felt like their rotations weren't terrible, but they weren't fast enough. They needed to be positioning much faster. Looking at players like Burn, for example, of that, who can be just wherever he's needed on field in the snap of your fingers. They need to get on top of really being able to just be in position every time they're needed, particularly on defense. And when they have the aggression, not let it go so fast.
Yeah, and I think a big thing as well, like building on that speed and that ability to position Zephyrs, they've been given so much time and space to almost do whatever they wanted when attacking with the ball. And normally when you come up a team, okay, there might be one player that's kind of that setup guy who will go for the solo play and the rest will follow him through. But what was so scary about Zephyrs was everyone was doing that. It was equal shots down the board, 5 shots from each player. Everyone was scoring goals as well. Every single one of these players on the Zephyrs side has that individual mechanical skill to go for that solo play and really put your defense in shambles. So it makes them so tough to read. You don't know when are they going to go for that solo play. Might they actually kind of do a bit of a swerve and all of a sudden actually go for that backboard pass setup? We haven't seen too much of that yet. So at least Integrity might be reliant on the idea that they're going to be going for these one-on-one, almost mech monkey style plays. But that said, the moment that Zephyrs actually start to vary up their attack, they're going to become twice as deadly.
Absolutely agree. It's going to be interesting to see if Integrity can fill those gaps in their defense and play right now. Sipso with a lucky touch out of net. That's going to get away from Zephyrs very quickly. There's an attempted shot. Psycho should be able to put that off corner. Jason up, looking for the backboard. Akakansu beats him to it, gets it just off that backboard out of his reach. Now Sipso. 50s with Peseta. Psycho down to corner. Will Plasma. Up, Jason should be able to get to this first. That's going straight towards goal. A bit of a lucky touch off a defender there, actually.
Watch the bump. Psycho on Little Plasma got him that moment behind, allowing Jasmine to get to that ball first, and with that monochrome of space, he's able to put the shot exactly where he wants it to go. Great capitalization coming from this Integrity side, who have the lead for the first time in this series. Let's see what they can do with it. Psycho trying to push it down towards the other goal. They want to extend with it right now, and it kind of highlights one of the problems I might see with this Sapphire side. Because of how reliant they appear to be on sort of this solo play, sometimes that does make it a bit harder to find that defensive clear, because you're still kind of relying on that one person to sort of outplay not one, but sometimes two members of the opposing side. They were able to get a small bit of a counterattack right there, however, it did quickly just fizzle.
Yeah, Safe is now down by one, but Integrity actually has the same score now as they did the entire last game, so already a better position for them. Peseta now out. Akakansu takes that pass very well. Sipso last man back. He'll take it to corner for safety. It's going to be up early, though. He needed to be up before Akakansu, and that's just taken away from him.
Yeah, Akakansu, great play up the side. Now, I originally think Little Plasma was actually going to be the one looking for that sneaky shot, but judging from that angle, he was never going to get it. Akakansu makes the read, makes the banger of a strike, and we are tied one apiece. And as quickly as they were able to get that lead, Integrity see it slip through their fingers, and now Fayers want more. Peseta nearly finding that solo goal. No follow through just yet. In fact, Akakansu may have pushed too far forward. A good touch from Sipso. It is stopped for now.
A great clear out from this Integrity side. They kept their heads there. It was a tough situation, and Zephyrs definitely seems to be a little more control in front of net. But for now, it's still a tied up game. Psycho gets it past Akakansu, but not far. He goes for another touch. That'll actually really mess up his teammate. Sipso not available now. He's up finally now. That's going to come off ceiling. Very dangerous. Psycho will have to chase that.
I'm glad you saw the same thing I did right there, actually, and just with that cheeky second touch, it actually forced his own team to overcommit, and it created a more dangerous situation. Very lucky Integrity didn't get punished there. Now this orange side is on the attack, and we've seen Zephyrs actually kind of struggle on this side of the pitch before. Peseta does get enough of a touch, and that's a terrible touch from Jessen as well. It does open the door for Little Plasma to push up the middle. Akakansu going to intercept that for now. Psycho will be the first one there. A free jump on the 50 does not go in favor of Zephyrs, and the ball is still bouncing in a dangerous spot. Fortunately for them, the speed not quite there from Integrity to punish just yet.
A little bit more communication, I think, coming out from Integrity this game as to last is definitely helping them maintain this even game at this point, but they need to break out and really get a decent lead here if they want to secure this match for themselves earlier than the dying seconds. We are now in our last minute and a half of this game, just about. Gonna go out to the left-hand corner of this orange side. Peseta out to midfield. Jason. Sipso should be able to chase. It's gonna go high though. He will get there before Plasma. Backboard. Unavailable.
Yeah, it was just a little too high for Plasma right there. However, Zephyrs defense doing just enough to get a bit of a clear. A much more lower scoring affair in our second game than our first game, and that you have to accredit to Integrity and actually their ability to hold on to possession when they're attacking. There's been much less opportunities for the Zephyrs to work with, and a lot of that comes from, I think, Integrity feeling a bit more of themselves. They're willing to challenge a bit more. They're not giving that same sort of space they were giving in that first game. However, Lil Plasma does set up a 2v1 situation, gets that second touch, but Akakansu doesn't want to go up the wall forward. Actually gives Psycho the space needed, and Peseta, what are you doing? Bumping Lil Plasma out of the way. That's going to open the door for a counterattack perhaps. Lil Plasma was able to recover, set up Akakansu. No way does that turn into a goal, and Sipso makes a miraculous save.
Yeah, a lot of these miraculous save attempts, at least, we saw last game, and they just weren't quite making them. They were relying on that kind of last-second positioning, and it's not something that they want to get into the habit of doing again. However, saying that, they are still maintaining that even scoreline with that save there. Peseta now taking a shot. Sipso should be able to follow this as it gets away from Jason. Take that to corner.
He's trying to make something happen, but we're now moving to the dying seconds of regulation right now. Really one last chance, and that chance is probably going to come from Zephyrs at this stage. Akakansu doesn't want to play the corner, instead looks for the bump, isn't able to find it, but Elizabeth Plasma is still going to push forward. Jason, he doesn't want to end this game. He tries to get to the Psycho. That's a shot on target, and if the regulation had not ended, that could have been the game.
Was a defender left, but yeah, it was definitely a good opportunity.
No,
That's
Sipso, no!
not a good touch. Safers is going to take this game off of one of the most unfortunate kickoffs I have ever seen in a professional game.
Sipso! Not only does he push the ball into his net, but he bumps Psycho away as well. You can't picture a more perfect trilogy of errors, or whatever you want to call it, than that. Integrity just break down in our first overtime of the night, and Zephyrs are now one game away from qualifying for the Kickoff's main event.
Yeah, I mean, it's very good for Zephyrs. They're going to be very, very happy with the position they're in now, only one game away, but Integrity, they really looked like they were starting to get on top of things. They looked like they were meeting Zephyrs, and that held game at 1-1 for almost the entirety of the game seemed to really sum up the changes Integrity had made from the first game. It's so sad to see it go down that way, but they do have one game to make it back, so we'll have to see if they can do that.
Yeah, it's not just one game necessarily as well. Obviously, you get that reverse sweep, which Gex, I mean, you know our history here. We always seem to see at least one reverse sweep every time we cast with each other. But there's still also that loser's bracket as well, should the worst happen for Integrity. But moving forward as well, those affairs, they have felt pretty much in control for a majority of this series thus far. Just one thing, though, and I mean, I guess it's too late to ask for this now, but I'm still waiting for that one broadcast or one casting session I get to do where there isn't at least one game-ending own goal. I don't know what it is, but that just always seems to happen, and it's driving me absolutely bonkers. I don't know, perhaps a bit of a personal rant right there, but we will be getting back into this game very, very soon.
Yeah, a couple of APL tropes coming out already, and of course the down server as well, but we are back in very, very quickly. Our admins are on top of that tonight, and all of the players filtering in right now, so we will have third game coming up very, very quickly, and Zephyrs has the chance to clean sweep this and take this series right here and now. Integrity has to make this game, these two losses up this game, or they cannot continue this series. Players are coming in now, so we'll see very, very shortly who can do what.
And what a statement it would be for Zephyrs if they are able to take this game, qualifying for the main event with a 3-0 sweep against a team that you kind of expect to be one of the best within this region. I mean, that is a big, big statement, and it would put a lot of teams, I feel, on notice. However, it might be Zephyrs who are on notice at the beginning moments of this Game 3, as it is Integrity on the attack. I think a little bit of frustration from how that last game ended. Unfortunately for them, it won't turn into a goal, as here comes the Bears now on an attack of their own.
Yeah, Zephyrs just so quick to capitalize on any opportunity. You can really see why they've gotten this far and even taken down some fairly decent-sized teams to do so. That's not the opportunity that Integrity is looking for. They can't capitalize there. Peseta's now taking this downfield. Good touch, pitches up wall a little. Jason should be able to beat out an opponent, does. One back, can make the touch. Psycho. Out to Sipso, into midfield now. That's a good touch. Plasma can get that before it backboards, and Peseta is back for defense as well. Now a good passing play off Zephyrs. Sipso's back just in time.
I love watching Akakansu play this game. I feel every time, like, he's not the flashiest player, but every single one of his touches has just been consistently strong, and it's been opening opportunities for the rest of his affairs. Lil Plasma as well has kind of just become that striker, nearly getting the double touch past 3 defenders right there. If he got the contact with that ball, you have to think that one was going to go in. Now Integrity, one of the few opportunities they've had to attack, but already you can see Zephyrs, how they set up their defense, how they're ready to rotate. They're so tough to break through right now, and unfortunately Integrity, they haven't had that consistent answer.
I think Integrity would be struggling a little bit with just the confidence to make smaller touches. Keep the...
Whoa!
There we go. Never mind, Integrity is definitely going to have a little more oomph in them now after a quick turnaround goal. Jason just reading Plasma coming out of net there very nicely, and top right corner shot.
That was not one of those weak or delicate touches either. 98 kilometers per hour, a bit of a strike. Interesting, no one goes up for the ball immediately. Lil Plasma with time to really put a shot on target. That's going to really put pressure on the defense at the moment. Preseta doesn't get the touch he's looking for, so it does mean that Zephyrs have to fall back. 2 members were already back on defense, and I'm going to be a little bit critical, actually, of that passive play, at least in this instant. Akikansu trying to play off of the bump from Little Plasma, not going to find that opening. Preseta again trying to keep the pressure down. Little Plasma going to go for the backboard setup. Anyone in the box? Not quite. So Jensen instead tries to clear it down the middle, but not enough power behind.
Plasma down. Psycho can read that though. Akakansu, good clear there. Sipso has to get a good touch and he doesn't. That's a good opportunity for Zephyrs here. Preseta almost puts it away. Plasma, can he clean it up? No! Sipso's there just in time.
A Herculean effort even by Sipso in order to keep that ball from going in the net and really keep Integrity in this game. Obviously, they have that 1-0 lead, but I still am worried it won't be enough. This side has to keep that pressure going. They have to get that score to climb just a little bit more because the Zephyrs, they are getting so many opportunities on attack right now. You feel like eventually they're going to crack it. Akikansu, shot on target. Psycho has to throw the ball to the corner to slow down the pace, but Little Plasma is there waiting. Pass across the center. Akikansu is stopped this time by Psycho once again.
Just up. You go downfield, but Plasma's waiting for that. He'll go up wall for the second touch as well. That's a shot on target, but Sipso is waiting in net. Out from Jason, a good pass out to Sipso. Sipso gonna let that go. Plasma pass that back out to his opponents. Jason now with a good second touch off that wall. Preseta gonna chase that down to the corner. Good read on his opponent. That's gonna go right in front of net, but no goal comes out of it.
Yeah, Akikansu wanted to go for it, but he saw there were too many defenders in the way, so he decided to play it safe. At this stage, it really looks like the Zephyrs are trying to bait the defense into overcommitting on something, but when they do commit, is actually able to clear the ball all the way down the pitch. Just over a minute to go in Integrity. Back where they feel more comfortable. Back on the attack, looking to get that second goal to really start this reverse sweep in style. Still, though, just under a minute. If they can hold on to this lead, that will be enough, and I'm sorry to believe they might actually be able to do it. Psycho down the middle will be stopped by Little Plasma.
Though it is good to see that they're not settling for one goal. I mean, when a team starts to settle, that's very close. 2 players on Zephyrs committing for that save, and it absolutely had to be done. If it wasn't for both of them, that would have been in.
30 seconds to go, and once again, Zephyrs might be on the attack, but they overcommit, and they open the door for the counter. It's a good touch by Sipso, unfortunately a little high, but it's an overcommit on the other side as the ball happens to roll all the way to the backboard. This could be that opening for Zephyrs to equalize this game. Preseta loses out on the 50 to Sipso on that side. Well, a wonderful touch will be stopped by Akitsano, but it's not going to be enough. They need to find a goal in these final 5 seconds.
I thought I was going to see Sipso get a really nutty touch
no
there.
way. Preseta has an open net! Oh, he couldn't get the right angle.
It's really good to see Integrity take one game out of this. I apologize.
Yeah, that's all good. It's
miscommunication there, but we're good. Yeah, Integrity taking a game finally. And yeah, like you said earlier on a save, Herculean effort to really bring that through. And I was trying to say this earlier just before even more insanity happened on field. That Integrity, even though they only had that 1 point throughout the game, they never stopped pushing for more. And that's the key to holding that, I think. You can't just sit in defense if you want to hold a point. You have to continually look and push upfield. If you sit in defense, that gives opportunities. And no matter how good your defense is, opportunities will eventuate in goals at some point.
To an extent, I agree with you. I mean, the season 9, actually, I should say the season 8, sorry, Canberra Havoc might have something to say in that regards. But one thing I did notice from Zephyrs actually as another reason why perhaps they weren't able to find that success was sort of the change in how they were attacking the ball. Lil Plasma in game number 3 was the only one really putting strikes on target, when before we saw it coming from across everyone. Really, no longer were we seeing equal shots down the board. It was pretty much Lil Plasma, and that's about it. And when you only have one striker, it's a lot easier for the defense to be able to make those reads. And I think that has a lot to do with how Integrity was able to hold on through a lot of those relentless attacks. They recognized where the threat was coming from, and they were always able to stop it. Now, moving back into game 4, if Surveyors can find a way to sort of unleash everyone, not just one player, I do feel they will have that success and they will be able to qualify. But this is the APL, Gex. We're casting together. It's, I guess the winner's final in a sense. Reverse sweep is totally still on the table.
Oh yeah, and that is definitely to script for APL as well. If you've been here a while, you know that there's always at least one reverse sweep somewhere in the day. So entirely possible here. But to Zephyrs, they were the team that probably wasn't expected to get here. Integrity was on the table, they were a highly seeded team, whereas Zephyrs probably wasn't as high on that list. They've beaten out big teams to get to this point and have done extremely well with the opportunity they're given, and are continuing to do so. They're really smashing this out of the park. So good to see all the players back and ready to go again. We're sending them in straight away, and I want to see Zephyrs really try and push for a fairly clean win here. They can't take the sweep now, but Integrity still has a long way to go themselves.
Yeah, Integrity still need to win the next 2 for Zephyrs. Again, that's 2 chances to get themselves into the main event. Little Plasma off the kickoff. Psycho buying his time, gets bumped off the ball. That's why you don't sit still. Somehow Peseta isn't able to take advantage of it, and I'm worried we might be seeing a disconnect situation on Psycho right now because he has not moved.
Yeah, I noticed that myself after jumping in goal. He didn't move.
There he
He's
is.
back now, though.
Oh, but he missed
Abikatsu,
it!
big shot!
Unfortunate right there for Psycho. He finally gets the engine running just in time to watch the ball sail past him. A great pass to Akakansu, and that's going to be a 1-0 lead for Zephyrs, who take advantage of the unfortunate situation by Integrity, and now all they have to do is hold on, and they're going to our main event.
Now, if this goes anything like our first 2 games, Zephyrs is not going to stop at 1 goal here. Integrity really needs to make a mark very quickly if they want to shut them down, particularly with the mindset Zephyrs seem to get into when they get these passing plays out and succeed. Well, Plasma now. Jason on the wall. Peseta down to Sipso. Sipso should be able to carry this out of goal. Gets past Akakansu. Doesn't have the ball control though.
And that right there was an example of one of the criticisms I actually had for Surveyors back at the start of this series, where they're still going for like these solo goal plays as opposed for the actual passes. And that Peseta banged that off the backboard. He had members in the middle of the pitch ready to take that strike, but instead he takes a low percentage shot and kind of hand delivered it right back into the hands of Integrity. Sometimes you got to rely on your team, but and your team makes whiffs like that. I guess I can be a little bit difficult. The defense for Surveyors in a bit of shambles right now. Lil Plasma going to try to recover, but he uses all of his boost to do so. So very starved at the moment. These touches have to be perfect. What can Plasma do with the little boost he has? Well, he gets the ball to the orange side of a pitch, and that is enough right now for Surveyors to kind of recover.
Integrity now back on attack. They leave it for a little bit. They've had a history of doing that this series, just opening up a bit of aggression, even being able to steal some boost at times, and then just giving the ball back. It's not the playstyle they want if they want to keep up that aggression, but there's Psycho! Hammers one in the back of net, all on his own. Integrity proving they can do this. Zephyrs, they can go all the way upfield with one player and hammer one into the back of the net just as well as anyone.
I mean, a lot of that has to do with the fact that Akakansu just plain and simply got beat in that 1v1 situation. He should have been able to make that read, should have been able to make the save, but was unable to, and opens the door for a tie game. Zephyrs, they cannot afford to be lax. They cannot afford to not give this 110% because Integrity, they were that higher seeded team. They are the team with that expectations. And just because you are up 2-0, just because you Braziled them in game 1, it doesn't mean anything because you still have to seal the deal. And unfortunately for Zephyrs, that qualifying lead, you know, the one that gets them to that main event may have just slipped through their fingers and they're going to have to earn it yet again.
Pitch to ceiling. Sipso can read it. It's out to Peseta though. That's going to be a backboard. Jason taps that down. Psycho should have been on that earlier possibly. We get beaten out by an attacker. It is cleared in a fairly large fashion. Peseta now going to take that out to midfield. He's not going to get a pass off of that. Jason gets a good read on his opponent. That's going to go high. Akakansu puts it down in front of net, but Lil Plasma able to carry that away to safety.
I'm not sure that was Jason getting a good read as much as it was actually Peseta just slamming him into the ball and it falling in a fortunate place for Integrity. Fortunately as well though for Zephyrs, that didn't turn into yet another goal as we are just under that 2-minute mark again. Zephyrs, they're trying to find that golden goal, that goal that may take them to the main event. Integrity, they're still fighting back to get into this series, but the opportunities for them specifically in this game 4 have been few and far between. A great little pass to Akakansu might open the door for Peseta. Little Plasma, the third man, puts one on target. Psycho there for the save.
Good commit by the team there. Really definitely called that he had that save. There were 3 people available to go up for that, and in most situations I would actually almost expect a double commit there. So Akakansu back just in time. That almost drifted into goal.
There it is. No! Crossbar again! Oh, those are 2 opportunities that Integrity could not have afforded to miss right there. They did the work, the defenders overcommitted, yet they couldn't get the ball in the open goal, not once, but twice. Still, Integrity is on the attack. Little Plasma trying to push forward, 45 seconds to go. This could ice it if Plasma gets around it, but Sipso gets there first.
So that'll go out to midfield. Psycho can't quite read Plasma as that comes off ceiling. Goes over Akakansu as Jason has control. He's going to dribble that off wall. Can't get it past 1. That's past 2. Sipso takes the shot, and that is 2 up with 25 seconds left for Integrity. They may have this.
They will definitely be looking to take it to a game 5 off that one. Granted, we are not finished yet. Zephyrs have 25 seconds to maybe push this game 4 into an overtime again. They were up at one stage, but these individual plays, this commitment to always go for the goal or always go for the hero play has come back to burn them several times in this game alone, let alone the series. And now with 13 seconds remaining, they need to make something happen. A beautiful touch from Psycho sends it the other way. The net is unguarded. And with 8 seconds remaining, Integrity just iced game number 4.
That is a hilarious way to take what is probably going to be the last goal of this game. What a touch off that backboard. Just sent that booming across field into net with absolutely no contest.
You can't have an APL stream without a reverse sweep. You can't have a formal Gex stream with a final game in a winner's bracket without a reverse sweep. Those are just the rules, and for all of you tuning into the APL for the first time, you best get used to them. We're going to that game number 5.
Who doubted it? Nobody. Not for a second. Game 5. Yep. Incoming sweep here, guys. I want to see it in the chat, but no, Zephyrs here just really choking fairly hard here. Actually, they really had a good handle on the game these first 2 games. Integrity have continually improved throughout game to game, but I do feel like this particular game, Zephyrs really let this one go, so they need to fix the issues that they created for themselves this one and come back strong if they want a chance in the last game. But the chance to take this cleanly is now well and truly gone. We will have a very even match 5 is my prediction.
And I want to go back to the point I was kind of making both in games number 1 and games number 4, and that the Zephyrs, they're playing like a bunch of incredibly talented individuals, but we're not really seeing that team play, that team cohesion. Yes, they're rotating well. It's not like, you know, they're frequently double committing or getting in each other's way, but they're never really thinking past. They're never really thinking, how can I help my teammate? It's always about what can I do with the ball? What will give me the best chance to getting the goal myself? And maybe if I miss it, a teammate will be able to follow through. We haven't really seen them go for for some of those team pass plays, be it on offense or on defense. Whereas Integrity, on the other hand, they are playing a bit more like a cohesive unit. And when you get to the nitty gritty, when you get to the game fives in series with main events on the line, a lot of times that is what shines through. So we're about to kick off a very critical game 5. Integrity going for that reverse sweep. Surveyors, they're trying to be a little bit of the party killers, but Zipso already is putting shots on target.
Yeah, unfortunately a little low there. He could have made it a harder shot, but it was a good opportunity to start off with. There's a good early demo. Akakansu will take first goal for Zephyrs this game, and it's a great start for them.
It's also a very poor touch from Zipso right there. He immediately saw the mistake he made as he was trying to wrap around and get back behind it, but already Akakansu was there ready to punish, ready to take that 1-goal lead. Granted, we've seen this before. In fact, it was just our last game where it was a 1-0 lead. Preseta, not satisfied with it, tries to go for the solo play, but is unable to get it past Psycho.
Good touch by Jason there, sends that out to midfield. Good
Flick
chance
it.
here, Snipso. He got the flick, but he couldn't quite follow through to bump the goalie, which it looked like was probably the plan there. Psycho, a little bit of a mistouch. Jason out to corner, should be able to take this out to safety. He's going to go for a pass to Psycho, but Plasma's there, just got out of his reach a little bit. And I think that that's something that's changed a lot from those early games, is Integrity's control of the ball and just overall possession.
That said, though, on that push right there, that was actually a very poor, I want to say, from Integrity. If the idea was always to go for the shot, he should have called off his teammates. Instead, it put it in a situation where all 3 members were committing down the field, thinking possible pass, but because the shot was no good, it led to an open counterattack. And since then, Zyphers, they haven't let up control. A great bump by Lil Plasma. Unfortunately, the rest of the team isn't there behind it, but finally, perhaps, the defensive effort will follow through. A couple whiffs. I'm not sure what Zveyers were thinking right there. Shinto gets a demo as well. Jessen, though, unable to get around the ball from Lil Plasma's touch.
A little bit lucky actually there from Integrity, because if the ball had popped out the wrong way, they had all 3 players committed very far upfield on that. And that would have been a very easy turnaround for Zephyrs there. So Zipso now looking for the edge. He's got the flick reset. He can't use it. It comes off crossbar, and that is crushing for Zipso.
I don't think he got all 4 wheels on the ball. It looked like he only got 3 twice. And if he had had that flick, that ball was going to go in. An awkward double commit right now for Integrity as time working against them. You can see the desperation starting to come through a little bit more and more with how aggressive they are going for these shots. Sometimes not always the most opportune moment for it. Zipso finally gets that backward setup. No one quite underneath to follow it up. Jessen gets a touch, but Psycho was already pushing forward, which does mean the defense is going to be in a bit of a shambled state. Zipso doing what he can to slow the ball down, but Akakansu there looking to punish. A goal here could put Integrity in such a terrible position the defense has to hold on.
Defensive rotations were in a little bit of a shambles there from Integrity as well. They have managed to retrieve that ball, and they're on the attack yet again. Ball is changing sides of the field very, very quickly when it does. There's an opportunity opens up. Psycho can't quite control that ball. Jason now to take that up the wall, flicks it past Akakansu. Plasma up before Psycho can take it as a pass. Preseta up to top corner of ceiling, bangs it down and gets the read. Doesn't get it out to a teammate though, and Zipso now with control should be able to set this up as a center. Can't quite do it. Psycho.
Good bump, one
misses. Oh,
there it is. All right, that's a good touch from Jason, but no one's behind it just yet. Zipso, turn and go for the ball. He has been playing so passively for the past 30 seconds. It's kind of been driving me crazy. I saw it before when he was sitting with 100 boosts and he didn't go up for the challenge that time as well. He could have turned, could have taken the shot. Well, now he's playing setup. Jason is there, but Little Plasma gets there first. The third man, Psycho, he touches it on target. It's a bit too slow, and it's also way wide to the left in that instance. And finally, the defense gets that clear, or do they? Jason pushing it back forward. Zipso with the touch off the backward, down in a dangerous spot. Defense holds on.
so many opportunities right now for Integrity, but you're right, the desperation is very, very clear for this orange team, and the shots they're taking are only half well set up, and as a result, they're not able to make anything of these opportunities most of the time. Good bump from Plasma will save that from being a shot at all. Zephyrs now on attack off of some very, very clever play.
Jessen just put a magical touch on that ball. Psycho 12 boost. What can you do with it? A swing and a miss from the first defender. However, he can't put that shot on target and then gets demoed for kind of sitting around a bit too long. 36 seconds to go. Time running out for Integrity to find that equalizer. Little Plasma pushing it back to the orange side of the pitch. Has a bit of space to work with, but instead again plays passively as Akaksanu pushing it forward. Niseta can't ice the game just yet.
Sipso just earlier had a shot. It was a backboard read, but realistically, that should have been a goal.
Psycho.
Just unfortunate here. There's closing 10 seconds coming up now. Akakansu on this, looking for the backboard. Sent it to corner. Jason. Opportunity,
Opening for
Psycho.
It's an opening. Oh, Little Plasma able to get underneath, but there's still just 1 second remaining. Jessen through the corner. That ball's going to drop in a very dangerous spot, at least until it's spiked down, and Zephyrs hold off the reverse sweep and qualify for the main event.
Incredible last game. Integrity fought tooth and nail to try and just get that one goal out there. Desperation was, just obvious. You mentioned it. And they pushed so hard. They had so many opportunities. They even had exactly the same amount of shots as Zephyrs on board. And they had so much possession. There was actually only 3 saves made by Integrity, even though they were only scored on 1 time throughout that game. So they did very, very well, but Zephyrs really proving that those first 2 games were not a fluke. They brought this back. They only needed 1 point to win, and they got it. And they are going through to our Day 2 qualifiers.
Yeah, they will advance. And I guess taking a look back and just sort of really realizing how that series went down, it was interesting to see the nerves get to Integrity in the end. Now, nerves can affect every player in a different way. Sometimes it causes you to be over aggressive, to try and force plays a little bit too much. Sometimes it forces you to be a bit too passive. For Zephyrs, when the nerves were on them, we saw they got over aggressive. They tried to force things, but for Integrity, I really feel like it caused them to second guess a lot of times when pushing towards the ball. And in a game like Rocket League, where speed is so important, you cannot afford to have that happen. Otherwise, you will miss out on what could be opportunities. I saw a couple times for Integrity, I wanted them to pull the trigger to take that shot, but instead they were thinking, well, if it doesn't work, we might get scored again, so let's fall back, let's play a bit more defensively. But they were already down 1-0, and in those types of situations, when it's do or die in a game 5, I think you gotta go for it. That's just me, though. I mean, I'm low ranked, what do I know? But man, that one's gotta hurt Integrity, but they're not done yet.
Yeah, more series to come. They've got another day that they can make that up in as well. Remember, we are just in our qualifiers, so we've still got more to come today, though. Stick around, and our second series is up soon.
Running around like dollars in the wind, bending over backwards just to let you in. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the putting in the
paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you break me, but something about it makes us so. Maybe every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. Frozen in a dream, I can't escape the thoughts of you. If I try to leave, when I'm with you I can't move. It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you break me, but something about it makes us whole. Maybe every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. Would you lie across the sand? Many miles I took to make it. Tell me, is it left to try? Where do we run? Where do we run? Where do we
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to APL's presentation of the Kickoff Asia edition as we get ready for our losers quarterfinal is, I guess, what they are calling the round. Realistically, though, it is the losers semi-final. The winner of this will advance to that last chance for the day to qualify for the main event in qualifier number 1. And with so many upsets throughout the night, it is vital to get through today and not rely on that last chance next week. Our next match, of course, will consist of 1NE taking on ERA or ERA. I am Formal. Joining me is Gex, and I am excited to see where this loser semifinal takes us.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. We've had the brackets turn out very differently to how we expected. Era and Velfire just played in the upper bracket, Era coming down to us now. Velfire has gone through and qualified already along with Zephyrs, which we saw last series. We've got Era and One Knee now, and at the same time running in the lower bracket is Integrity versus Hanagumi. So some big teams here in the lower bracket that was unexpected, but our first up teams going to be pretty interesting. I haven't actually seen Valeri's in a casted match for a while, and I'm a bit excited about that. He plays really well with Easel as well in this Era team, and they have Bunny Dummy joining them now, which is new to me. I don't know anything about him, so really interested to see how he plays.
I mean, Bunny Dummy, I think, is kind of would be leading the charge, I should say, for the best name in this game. However, when you look at 1NE's lineup, you have Misty. It's going to be the second Misty I get to call today, so that's kind of fun. Goon, as well as, or Gone, I should say, not Goon, that's something very different. And Squirrel IRL, who I think properly has the best name, not only in this game. I don't know, bunnies versus squirrels, they're each cute, they're each fluffy, they're each adorable. And it's a shame that they're going to have to get bloodthirsty against each other in this loser semifinal match.
Unfortunately, Squirrel won't be playing today. He's been subbed out for Revoir or Rapupi, another great name. He tends to switch between those depending on what he finds amusing for the occasion. So it's Rapupi today in our cast, but if I do refer to him as Revoir, you know why. So yeah, 1NE. All these guys play together all the time. It's a very large org within Asia, and they've done very, very well in the past. They've had to kind of push through since the loss of 1NE Glory Stone a while back, and now are looking for a big win here in the kickoff. So a little bit of pride involved for any team with the 1NE name. We're sending them in right now, and things will be underway in 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1, test. No one's going for the ball. We're actually still just warming up right now. Look, I want to bring attention back to Rapupi and that name. I do agree. I mean, obviously, he's been a very much a long-standing player. Misty as well, and just this 1NE lineup as a whole in the past. But I think, unfortunately, Rapupi is best said by fellow caster Boy Arroyo. I think he has that best pronunciation of the name, and maybe he was thinking Boya would be casting today, and that's why he's opt for it as opposed to his usual name. Instead, I'm going to be around to butcher it, as I always like to butcher names. That said, we are kicking off. We are now in a game number 1, and it will be 1NE initially on the defense, but they're already going to passes. They're playing as a team, and they're marching down the field.
It's coming off Misty now, the one remaining Glory Stone player. Gets it. Fast Revoir now. Easel Baleri's on the wall. Gets a very nice pass out, but the shot is off target. Easel beaten by Gone. Misty up for an early shot. It's going to get away from Era, and that's the first goal.
And it's always the faster team that will get to a dead ball first. I loved Rapupi just slamming on the brakes, making sure Misty is going to be able to bang that one straight through. And it only took about 28 seconds. But 1NE, my pick to probably take the series, they're off to that hot lead.
Easel now back. Misty was going to be a good shot, blocked away by Bunny Dummy. Rapupi off wall. Easel back down. Nobody to take that except himself. Gone there. Easel opts to take boost instead. Baleri's. Misty will have that now. He'll take it to the opposite wall and possibly go for an air dribble here. It's a shot early and it was high. It almost made that in. Bunny Dummy had to make a good save.
Yeah, I am a little bit worried though, because Era is just giving 1NE so much space to set up these attacks. I mean, that was a case right there of Gone. I believe he was just able to push up the field. No one able to touch him, and Misty, with his own little touch as well, takes it right over the top and in 2-0 for 1NE.
Valeri's almost crushingly awarded the bicycle there. on his own net, unfortunately. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. I think when you go up as probably one of the lower seeded teams here against such a big team like 1NE, you do tend to give a little respect, maybe more than you should, and giving 1NE the room that they are at the moment is going to backfire on them very quickly.
Yeah, especially because 1AE aren't necessarily playing a perfect game as well. A couple times already, we've had to see Repoopy actually slam on the brakes to kind of stop an over double commit in some situations. So if, you know, we're in a position right now, if you're Era and you're getting that little bit more aggressive, you can kind of capitalize on these missteps. As it stands right now, 1NE, they're the ones who are largely going for the punishes. They're the one who's getting a lot of that pressure. Ballaris, though, nice clear down the middle. This might open up something for Bunny Dummy, who does get that touch over Gone. Last defender will be Repoopy. He's able to throw it down the middle. Misty, again, keeping the ball in the air. Repoopy is there. They had so much time, so much space, but no boost, and thus the attack does falter for a little bit.
Yeah, Repoopy going for that musty. Had a few musty attempts already today. Nothing sunk yet, but gone up. No, sorry, I'm wrong. Our first attempt did go in. But a few more after that haven't succeeded. So Easel now, good shot, Gone, blocks that away. Ballaris, Gone again, 50s that out. Misty should go for a 50 here as well, he does. Bunny Dummy leaves that for Easel, it doesn't go in their favor.
Oh, that's a good touch.
Oh, but Bellari's just back in time.
Yeah, it looked like someone was going for the bump on Bellarius as well. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get there for 1NE. And now Bunny Dummy actually going for a pass play to Easel. I almost feel like he could have driven that down the center. And again, this one little misstep opens the door once more for 1NE. Pass back to Gon, who instead takes it to the corner instead of the shot. He's trying to get the defense to bite. Ball's going to drop in a dangerous spot. Ballaris doing what he can, but Misty already there. An unfortunate miss, though, does mean the end of the attack for 1NE. Shot from Ballaris will be saved by Gon. Follow through from Easel. Goes for the double touch, but is unable to spike it in.
Yeah, good opportunities there, and it's nice to see Era pushing for these opportunities. Probably not giving them as much respect as in those first opening seconds now. Definitely encroaching on their territory and not giving them as much space. Gone. Down. Bunny Dummy gets to that very well. It's going to go back regardless. Hilarious. Leaves that for Easel. Probably a good decision. Revoir sends a shot a little bit weak, and Bunny Dummy passes that very well to Easel. Goes for a second touch himself.
Do you know what, like, the Candy's lifesavers are? You know, they're
Yeah,
sort of like
yeah.
those gummy rinkies. Yeah, Bunny Dummy's wheels. Anyways, here comes 1NE looking to put some pressure on the goal right now. Repoopy's going to put that shot and push it in. 3-0 for 1NE.
I don't know what flavor that would be, but I don't want to eat them.
I mean,
That's,
like, I don't know, white lemonade or something, maybe?
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so 1NE up by 3. Era still struggling to get a point on the board here. They've had 3 shots on target, but that's to an astonishing amount of shots. I think that's 11 shots out of 1NE already in our first game. Gone up. Send that out. Bunny Dummy doing fairly well in first game I've casted him in.
Misty!
before.
That would have
Barely
been
off
an
corner.
amazing goal. That would have been an amazing goal right there from Misty for sure. Repoopy trying to play it through the corner, not going to find that opening, but as we hit those final 30 seconds, 1NE looking mighty comfortable in this opener right now. Yes, we've seen some moments of life from Era, but it hasn't been enough to convince me that they are that stronger team, and the scoreline definitely reflecting it. Easel might be able to get something for a bit of that solo play at the end there. Eventually the defense will stop it, and if you're a fan of 1NE, well, you're probably feeling pretty comfortable about this series right now.
Bunny Dummy follows that up. Easel looking for opportunity. It's going to come off backboard and go to corner. Misty will run that out. Ballaris reads him well to corner. It's a good center. Nobody's there for it. And he blocks it straight down in front of goal. That'll touch ground, and 1NE will get the first win with quite some confidence.
Yeah, again, I think there's a couple key factors for that victory. The first one being how 1NE approached the game. They were willing to pass. They were willing to mix up the defense of Era, and that created more opportunities. As you can see right there, Misty as well. A real sort of like ball shark in this one. 7 shots on target. Always a threat from wherever he was. But on the Era side, again, I have to be critical of how passive they were playing. They were giving too much space for a team with the individual skills of 1NE. Yes, they can go for those passes, pass plays, but if you give them time as well, they're going to strike, and they can be quite lethal with their strikes. And while Era would usually make that first initial save, it was always that second or that third attempt that really had them scrambling, and you can kind of counteract that by stepping forward to challenge, and that's something that I want to see a bit more from ERA as we move forward in this series.
Absolutely, and yeah, just seeing them push forward, especially in those opening seconds of that match, they needed to be a little more aggressive and show 1NE that there was something to be feared there. I think 1NE went into that with a huge mental advantage, especially after that opening goal, and yeah, just came in and knew that they could come out on top on that first match, and yeah, ERA are going to have to really show them that it's not that easy to win this match if they don't want India to run away with this.
Well, if they're trying to show that, that start might not have been what they were looking for. 1NE nearly finding a goal right out of the gate. That said, we're now looking at that counterattack coming from this orange side as ERA is going to try and find the goal. Bunny Dummy with the shot, able to beat out Misty, and 1-0 for the orange side.
A little bit of a slow turn there by Misty, but it was a decent shot. He read the positioning of that defender well. Revoir also coming off wall for that, wasn't going to make it in time. It's a good first goal from Era.
A great first goal for Era, maybe a tone-setting goal, one that they desperately need. Rapupi, instead of pushing it forward, tries to throw it back, but that just opens up the floodgates. Fortunately for 1NE, Misty is there in the goal and able to make that initial save. Gone now, gonna try and push it back forward, but two defenders back. Again, we are seeing that space being given to 1NE as they push it across mid-pitch, and that's not the sort of iteration that I want to see coming from ERA. Yes, they have that one goal lead, and having two defenders might stop, quick goals from happening, but I don't see them extending the lead if they play like that. But a double commit won't help either. Ballerise doing what he can to delay the inevitable. Gone shot is in, and we are tied.
A really good shot by Gon, actually. His positioning to take that is just fantastic. He read the defender just perfectly, and the placement of that shot was beautiful.
And that one goal lead for ERA or Era is already gone. Misty off of the kickoff, trying to cheat forward, gets the demo, could be opening the doorway for Rapupi. Fortunately for this ERA side, though, the demo doesn't last quite long enough, and the defense is able to recover at least momentarily, but they still got to turn it into an attack. Rapupi trying to throw it back to the middle to Gon. Easel goes up, but does not have the boost or the angle. It's an awkward touch. Gon, however, going for the flip to buy that speed, actually loses possession of the ball. It says Misty, who will push it forward instead. Off of that crossbar shot from Rapupi, challenged and won by Easel. Gon on the follow through. This attack is relentless, and finally Ballerise puts a great touch on it.
Easel sets himself up well, but he might have been out of boost there. Gon now setting himself up well. It's a double touch, an opportunity. It's going to come off a defender and in off a great shot from Misty. Just powers it through.
Yeah, but it was Gon who really was the star of this play. The double touch pass to Misty, perfectly placed for that bang straight down the middle. And it goes back to the problem I had in game number one. No one was up challenging Gon. Everyone was falling back, trying to play the shot. But when you give Gon that much time, he's going to put the ball exactly where he wants it. It doesn't matter. And then an overcommit for the challenge opens the door for Misty as well. ERA falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, ERA is down by 2 now. Still early days, only 2 minutes into this match, and they've got time to fix this, but it's going to get away from them very quickly if they don't change something soon.
Exactly that. I mean, I feel like the change has to come from the defensive side of the pitch right now. They just have not been able to stop this 1NE attack. Another pass across the middle. Gon this time will be slowed down by Bunny Dummy, but the clear is not there. A cheeky little touch from Rapupi nearly turns into yet another goal. Ballerise barely able to stop it.
Now, up to corner from Rapupi. Good touch mid, Easel. Gonna go high. Bunny Dummy should have this in the corner. Goes back to wall with 0 boost as Ballerise chases that upfield. Misty flicks high. It's gonna go over 1. Gon has the shot. Easel there, forcing it to his own backboard into the corner. Good chase on that as well. Misty up high, beaten by Baleari's. It's a good beat too. Misty comes down on that, unfortunately, but it does go back to a teammate, so no loss of possession there.
Yeah, Misty now trying to do something pretty magical right there. A good double touch off of the wall, unable to push it through into the net, and perhaps a quick counterattack, or it would be if 1NE was playing a bit over aggressive, but they're still keeping members back. They're still stopping any chance really Era has of getting quick goals against them unless they put together something absolutely amazing. And because of that, I feel like 1NE, they're just buying that time. They're keeping the ball on the orange side of the pitch, and no answer yet, unfortunately, for ERA.
It's a good touch out to midfield. Easel quickly follows that up. Rivoire just barely making a touch on that in front of goal. It was a good setup and almost capitalized on by Era. Weren't able to make anything work with it just this time though. And still stuck in their side now.
Okay, so is that going to be the new rule then? When he's making an amazing save and playing defense is Rivar, but when he's attacking and finding crazy goals, is he Rapoopy? Is that how the name works? Is that what we're going to be going with moving forward? Because I'm down for it if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
All right. I'm going to try to keep that in mind. I'm already bad enough with names, but we will see how we go. Gone pushing up the pitch right now. Gets a nice little touch. Unfortunately, it's a bit too high, and a pinch on defense is sending it screaming back to the blue side of the pitch. Misty, ball on the wall, not able to hold on. Instead, tries to clear it across the middle. Gone is going to be there again as well, clearing it right back to that other side. Booming clears going back and forth, and with only 30 seconds remaining, this is not the style of play that ERA is looking for.
Misty out to back wall, sends to corner. Dummy Bunny sends that in. That's a very good long shot. Unexpected, not just by me, but 1NE as well by the looks of it.
Yeah, that was a really, really great clear right there. I'm not sure how it was able to find that angle. I believe it's like the EU pinch, I've heard people call it. I could be misquoting that horribly. Everyone flame me in chat. I'll take it. But what I do know is that this game just got very interesting. If Ethel gets that touch, he could have found the equalizer. It still is ERA on the attack. Bunny Dummy perhaps from underneath isn't going to find the ball. It's not allowed to drop. 10 seconds to go. What can ERA do?
Off wall, Bunny Dummy looking for the pass. He misses the touch. Poopy able to chase that out. Gone. Now in reverse, it'll go to ground, and 1NE will take game 2 as well.
1NE powering through at the moment. Second game a little bit closer than game number 1, but really only in terms of scoreline. Once again, if you take a look at that shot differential, more than twice of the shots going 1NE's way as opposed to ERA. And when you look at possession and when you look at control, it has really been blue side dominated thus far. But again, you know, we saw it last series, 2 dominating performances. Next thing we know, we were looking at that game 5. So obviously not done yet, but I think a big difference between this match and our winners semifinal, or kind of final, it's really hard to figure out what to call it, our winners qualifying match. 1NE is a team that was expected to kind of go all the way. The fact that they're playing in this game, I think, is a bit of an upset for them. And now that they have control of a series, I don't see them letting go.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a tough one for ERA as well. I mean, ERA really shouldn't have been facing a team of this quality in lower bracket as they are right now. And yeah, the same for a lot of the other teams that have had to go against these, a lot of high caliber teams that have dropped down right now. I mean, Hanagumi and Yesmen taking down Jesse Esports and Carball. Those poor teams have just been hammered with fantastic teams chucked at them. Atlas Gaming taken down by Ooga Booga. It's been very difficult for these lower bracket teams to take out a win when such high caliber teams have been sent down early.
At that same token, however, if you are a team like ERA, you have to understand you're going to be going against these teams eventually if you want to qualify or if you want to win. So yeah, you might be running into them perhaps a bit earlier than you've expected, but they still should be in your crosshairs. It still should be a match that you want to take. So I'm not going to take, oh, we were expecting them too early as an excuse. You still got to win when push comes to shove. And right now, that pushing and shoving is coming from the ERA side, at least at first. However, Rapoopy with a great offensive pass to Gone. It's just a little bit too high for the shot to fall through. Misty, a delicate touch, perhaps a little too delicate as Izzo gets the clear.
Fantastic touch from Gon. The passes and mechanics coming out of Gon these last 2 games and continuing this one have been fantastic. But Bunny Dummy is the one that's going to score here off of a interesting touch here, just almost passed to by Rapupi.
Yeah, a cheeky little play up the side right there for Bunny Dummy. Puts that perfect intercept on it right now. And again, it's a bit surprising for me. Looking at this lineup, I expected Ballerise to kind of be that standout player, the one that really has to step up, but it's been Bunny Dummy again. Another critical save. An open net for Easel as well. If he can just get there in time, he launches himself in the air, and I don't know how he wasn't able to find the net in this instance. Bunny Dummy trying to push it through, but Rapupi is there. Gon now going to do what he can, dropping it to Misty, and he will be able to push it towards the middle of the pitch. Ballerise keeping the pressure on. An opening for Easel, shut down by Gon.
Yeah, good touch by Gon there as well. It was last man defense. Misty out to corner. Will have to chase it himself, but 2 men back on that orange side. Era will force that out. Bunny Dummy, great pass and great shot from Easel. That is a fantastic passing play there, and this is what we need to see from Era.
And what I absolutely loved about this pass was how far out of the box it was actually thrown, giving Easel more than enough time needed to get to that ball first and put it wherever he wanted. Fantastic setup from Bunny Dummy, who is looking better and better with each passing game. ERA, I was worried they were going to be, you know, kind of out of this series, but they've looked stronger in game 2 than they did in game 1, and they look even stronger right now in game number 3. A 2-goal cushion. If they can hold on, again, we could be looking at a climb up reverse sweep mountain. I mean, we kind of had it spoiled for us in our first series of the day. Perhaps it will be ERA who return things to that sense of normality, you know, and gives us our reverse sweep.
Very possible. Easel now can't find a teammate. Rapupi gets that out to the wall. He's gonna follow it himself, but he gets bumped high. Valeri's now with this. Gets a pass Gon, but can't follow it himself after that bump. Misty now to ceiling, pinches out to midfield. Easel takes that very well. Valeri's looks for the pass. He can't quite get the car control to do that. Rapupi now passing to Gon. A little bit of a misplay on that though. Misty will take it very high. Looking for a good touch. Almost gets it past Bunny Dummy, but forced well to the corner.
It looked like there was a lot of little misplays throughout the majority of that right now. I mean, emphasized by Ballerise actually missing the boost, having to brake, reverse into it, and then keep driving. Normally, those moments of hesitation, those moments where you misstep, might give opportunities to a quick opponent, but then it's happening on both sides of the ball. It kind of leads to some sloppy play, but I do have to admit, sloppy play is usually far more exciting, and that seems to be the case in this game, at least for the moment. Bunny Dummy trying to push through the middle. Misty will slow it down. Gon going for the 50-50 against Ballerise. It's Rapupi who is there for the follow-through. He actually throws that ball straight on target, forcing Easel to go across the pitch. He's able to pick up that boost. Let's see what he can do with it. Flicking it back down to a teammate. Beats out Gon on the attack. Bunny Dummy has the shot, but Misty is there for the save.
Yeah, that shot on target from Rapupi, I don't think he was expecting an open net to be available by the time he touched the ball. Misty, great flick in that top left corner.
And it's another pass off of a backboard in kind of a narrow situation that turns into a goal. Last time it was Era who executed this play. This time it will be 1NE, but this is really where both of these teams are finding a lot of their successes, these sort of tight backboard passes, opening the doorways for these goals. Now, a minute 30 remaining, 1NE. They still need one more to try and set themselves up, at least for an overtime into the sweep. Gon's going to be the one trying to set it up. There's no one in the goal, and Misty will bang it through. It took how long? 6-7 seconds for them to tie this game up. Absolutely phenomenal by 1NE.
Gon's small touch to slow that down on ball there is absolutely brilliant. That could have been gone and past net before Misty could get there if he had not done that. It's just a brilliant move. Not sure if it was intentional, but if it was, just, yeah, really, really big respect for a play like that.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal one, but Ballerise now a chance of his own, cannot win the 50-50 to find that goal. Easel has to be a little bit careful. Bunny Dummy tries to go for a flick himself, but Rapupi is there, and he gets it up for Gon a little bit too slow as Easel gets to the ball first. Just under a minute remaining, 1NE looking for that 3-0 sweep to get themselves to that loser bracket final, that last chance to qualify on day 1. Easel putting the pressure on, ball in the box, Misty underneath, Ballerese gets the dunk, but it's a little bit too high, and Gone will throw the ball to the side.
Easel now back, gonna grab boost, slow play that. Gone, doesn't expect it, goes over ball. Ballerese now lets it go down to Easel. Possibly not the right play here. Gone with a big miss. It's the second one in a row. Misty downfield now. Ballerese up, it's gonna come off ceiling. It's a harsh read and Rapupi does well on it. Bunny dummy, deads that out. Misty should be available and it's a dangerous ball for Ira. Gone now, chasing this, looking to turn this into a goal and not let this go to overtime. We've got 2 seconds left, and it will go to ground. We have overtime.
The ball eventually drops, and we have our first overtime of this series. A golden goal opportunity for 1NE to get themselves in that loser's final, and Misty is already looking for it. A double commit by the defense. They run into that top crossbar, but they put a strong enough touch on it for the clear. Rapupi pushing forward himself off of the backboard. Where's the follow through? Misty is a little far back, but that's okay. It allows him to read the play. Ball set up, no one there to bang it in.
Rapupi was looking to be available, but he was a little close to that front post and couldn't make any play of it. Oh, can't quite read the defender there either. It's going to waterfall down off ceiling. Gets defended well out. Gone now. Gets a pass one defender. Bunny dummy. Good pass out to Easel in defense.
Oh, Easel opened it.
Doesn't have any boost, and he absolutely destroys his teammate with that last touch on ball.
Well, the touch came from Ballerese, I think, bumping him in the back. It was a double commit, and they get in each other's way. Rapupi now trying to open the door for 1NE. However, Ballerese is there on defense. Great pass to Bunny Dummy. That shot has to go in. You won't get an open opportunity like that again.
Yeah, very narrowly missed that as well. It was a good shot, just barely misses. That's going to be a huge opportunity to miss on Ira's side. Misty
Open
now,
net,
free
that's
goal for Gone. It's going to be, and that is our game. 1NE takes down Ira 3-2.
Yeah, but 3-0 when you look at that series score. A clean sweep for 1NE as they make that 2-goal comeback to take this one right on back. And you saw the desperation start to come through from ERA. They were starting to overcommit. They were sending everyone down the pitch, even in overtime. And it felt like it was only a matter of time before 1NE was going to be able to capitalize on it. Great little goal right there from Gone to bring this one to its conclusion. And 1NE now have another chance, or really, I suppose, their first chance, as they had to fight through the entirety of that loser's bracket to qualify into the main event in week number 1.
Yeah, and remembering that anybody who loses this aren't out of this just yet. There is a second day of qualifiers next Sunday as well. So Ira is not out of this just yet. They will have another chance, but only one of these big 3 teams can make it through losers semifinal to qualify. So it is now down to 1NE Esports, Integrity, or Hanagumi. We're waiting on the update from the Integrity Hanagumi games, but until we get that, we'll probably take a very short break, and then we will have that. If you want to check out those matches, check out the B stream being casted by our Japanese counterparts.
Yeah, you get a real authentic experience right now over at that B stream. So go ahead down there, Integrity versus Hanagumi. The winner will be taking on 1NE for that last spot. So do not go too far. There will be more Rocket League here on this stream. So please stay with us, but at the same time, check them out as well. It's called having 2 tabs open. We'll see you in just a bit.
And watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me in these feelings like okay. I love you, I do need you, I do, I do need you, I love you, I do need you, I do need you, I love you, I do need you, I do, I do need you, I love you, I do need you, I do need you. need you, need you. I do, I love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. Ooh, I love you, I do need you. they hurt. You wanna feel, wanna fall in love, wanna give it all up, but you don't want to lose your control. Are we playing this game? Oh, are we playing this game? Are you too afraid, or are you giving in? Let the games begin, 'cause I play to win. Are we playing this game? Are we
And we're back with our final match of the night for the Asian qualifiers for the kickoff, coming to you, brought to you by APL and sponsored by Psyonix. It's been an awesome night so far, and we've got one more series for you, and it's probably the most exciting one we've had all night as well. 1&E Esports versus Hanagumi. Two big teams, big names, and big egos on the line here, so really, really strong competition here, and I've still got with me Max Formal. How you going, Max?
Yeah, you can't get rid of me. Once I'm around, I'm kind of just like, a bad stench. I'm just going to be there forever, but I'm excited to see this matchup between 1&E and Hanagumi. Again, number 1, number 2 seed respectively. They weren't supposed to play each other until the main event, yet we get to see them already. Perhaps, a bit of a pre-show, but with none the less in terms of stakes and what's on the line, because only one more team can still qualify today, which does mean either 1&E or Hanagumi are going to have to go to those week 2 qualifiers where, another poor performance like today, and they can find themselves out of that main event. And then there's a lot of other guns down there as well. I mean, Ooga Booga, another big team, they didn't quite make it just yet either. So it's not a shoe-in that you will qualify in week 2. It'd be much easier on the mind to get through right here, right now.
We do also have some auto-qualified teams if you want to check out the APL Twitter, but these guys are still fighting for this, so we'll get them in quite soon. And yeah, just looking at this, we've still got some big games here. Hanagumi has been on the B stream already tonight, but not on here with us. So let's talk about Hanagumi for a minute. Olpix, Shalon, and Burn, big names, and Burn is, I think personally, Burn is one of the most fantastic players out here in Asia right now.
Yeah, Burn, absolutely a star. So is Shalon, really this entire lineup, any of them can stand up at any moment. I mean, they are so fast to the ball, so accurate with their touches, but in a lot of ways, you can say the same thing about 1&E as well, consisting of Misty, Gone, and Revoir, or for today, Rapupi, especially one on the attack. We just saw this 1&E side get through in that loser semi, a quick clean 3-0. Actually, the same thing as Hanagumi, as we saw over on the Japanese stream. So very much a battle of two hot teams, two teams probably a little annoyed that they're going to have to go through this loser's bracket. And I really don't know how to pick this one. Again, we weren't supposed to see this until the grand final, and yet here we are. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm not even sure what that emote is, but it's beautiful. Is that actually someone who we know? Or oh no, okay, well we're back up anyway, so it doesn't matter. Sorry. If I'm looking over yonder, that's me actually looking at the stream and at the Twitch chat, not at Gex's beautiful face, even though it does happen to be in that same direction. Yeah, it's very interesting thus far. However, we are back, which tells me we will be kicking off our losers final very, very shortly. Let's just go for it. We haven't really done prediction yet. I think this is going to be that big game to drop those predictions. Who do you think is taking this? I know personally, I think it's going to go 1&E's way in 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say 1&E. I do think that they are the higher caliber team here, but they have a history of choking in finals. So it's very tricky to say. I do think it'll be 1&E, but I'm fully expecting a reverse sweep here as well, if I'm honest.
I mean, yeah, we haven't had one yet today, so perhaps this could be the game where it happens, or I should say the series. I mean, look, it can go both ways. On one hand, a reverse sweep would be great to see, but I also do kind of like to see sometimes a team just completely dominate their opponents. Either way, we are kicking off. We are on the pitch. This is our final series of the night. Win and you are in, lose and well, it's try again next week. Kanagumi in blue, 1NE in orange.
Burn under the ball. He's got a nice shot. That's an early goal for Hanagumi and a great start for them, only 15 seconds in.
Yeah, it did not take long for Burn to sort of live up to the hype you were giving him, finding a very quick goal off of that kickoff, getting Hanagumi that 1-0 start. It'll be interesting to see if they hold on. Obviously, kickoff goals, you know, wise man once said, the kickoff, the biggest goal is to just not have you get scored against you. And Misty, though, he's going to return the favor. So this is what I mean. An opening kickoff goal can't tell you that much, especially when it's returned in kind.
Does that count as Caster's Curse? I feel like that counts.
You know what? Why not? I'm feeling a little superstitious tonight. Let's go ahead and chalk that one up to that Caster's Curse. Now perhaps we get to see a bit longer of an exchange, a bit more gameplay. Xiaolon looking to push forward. Dawn already there for the challenge. He'll clear it out to an empty side of the pitch.
Burn now again. Carry this out, looking for a second touch, can't quite get it. Misty gets a touch, but read by all picks. Revoir doesn't take the ball in corner. Misty gets to it. Read by Xiaolon again, gone. Good touch, out past Burn. Revoir can't get to it in time to keep that clear going. Gone now. Xiaolon to the backboard. Misty gonna chase that down to his own corner. Burn, good block. And again, out to midfield, but no blue there to take that pass.
Oh
Big
my
flick!
God.
I can't believe that's in.
Misty, where did the velocity of that flick come from? It almost looked like he got bumped from behind, but no, that was just the ideal touch coming out of this stud of a player straight over the top and in. 1NE, they get themselves that 2-1 lead after our first kind of longer exchange. Still a very fast-paced game, at least in terms of scores. Burn gonna go up, Rapupi will go up with him, and again, the ball's kind of down in the middle of the pitch. Olpek's getting the first real demo of the game, yet it's not gonna stop the attack coming from the 1NE side.
I've actually seen Misty do that exact flick before and asked him if there was a name for that. He calls it the idiot flick. So there we go. Misty down to the backboard. Burn will take that away. Rapupi, good center, but Xiaolon turns well in time. Gone now, reading one defender. It's out to midfield. Misty has a shot, and the good power on the shot gets it to the back of the net.
And this is that hot start that 1NE we're looking for in this series in particular. Obviously, they're picking right up where they left off in that last semifinal. They started off hot then as well. Things got close towards the end. Hanagumi, as well as an orc, has a history of sometimes slower starts in this one. And 1NE, they tend to start off hot as well and sometimes can slow down. So far, we are kind of playing towards the script of the number 1 versus the number 2 seed. Burn, an awkward miss right there, actually will open the door for 1NE. Ball through the corner, but Xiaolon all on his own, able to clear it down. Another awkward miss. Everyone's not able to make contact with the ball. Finally, Misty takes it to a safe part of the field.
Revoir. Come out off wall, but go to an opponent. Gone reads that though. Goes to the outside corner. Great touch to pass that out. Nobody taking it just yet. Misty will put a shot on target. It was slow, but it makes it there.
Too much space given to a player of Misty's caliber. You can see right here, no one challenging in the middle of the pitch. 2 defenders were up on the goalpost thinking maybe it would be a backward play, but Misty, we've seen the power already. He can drive it straight down the center, finding yet another goal, and not even halfway into game number 1, and we're looking at a 3-goal cushion for 1NE.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay on behalf of Hanagumi.
Was
there.
that
They
a
need to watch their
quadruple
defense
touch?
there. It could have been.
1, 2, 3. Okay, it was a triple. It was a triple. I thought it was 4. It was only a triple. Either way, Xiaolon is going to take advantage of it and make it a 2-4 score line.
Yeah, fantastic way to score that. And as I was just talking about the mistakes they were making too, I guess I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to breathe. You're not allowed to analyze this game. These goals are coming too quick, too fast, too furious. You take one moment to try and take a step back, and already someone's going for a triple touch pass setup. I am not sure how Olpix was able to pull that one off without getting stopped, but Misty, looking for a bit of revenge, puts a shot on target. Xiaolon able to make the save.
Again, still games going to script here. If you watched the last finals that final matches of the stream, I should say at least, One and E traded goals with Oryx, and exactly the same thing happening, just firing back and forth. Up now though by a 2-goal buffer, the fairly comfortable lead right now, but Hanagumi is definitely a good enough team to turn that around very, very quickly, so they can't rest on that.
Yeah, at that same token, I don't expect the rapid-fire pace of goals to continue for too long in this game and in this series. As the players get more comfortable with the stakes, with the pressure, and with their opponents, I do expect the defense to start to tighten up, and that is why that 2-goal cushion right now is so important. Defense already starting to hold a great 51 by Gone, but Alpex is already there trying to find yet another opening. It could come from Burn, going for a ceiling shut-up, but it's too far in front of him. The clear from Rafupi, though, not quite touched well enough. More offensive pressure, at least for the moment, until finally we get to see the ball on the blue side of the pitch.
Burn out to wall. Misty, good pass in for Rafupi, but Xiaolong gets to it first. Very quick jump from him. Xiaolong again, off backboard, the wrong direction. Burn centers. Xiaolong looking for a bump, can't find Misty. Misty goes up. Good clear. Olpix now undergone. Was a little bit of a touch, gets to Misty. Xiaolong off backboard.
Oh.
Misty with a small touch. It was looking promising, but defended again.
Defended yet again. Another shot on target, this time from Gone, but it just gives the ball right to Xiaolong. Bumped off the ball, who's still sailing towards the net. Pretty easy save for Misty. Burn through the corner. Maybe he can get that last touch. It'll come from Xiaolong off the backboard. No, again, defense able to hold him with 22 seconds remaining. It looks as if Hanagumi may have run out of time in game number 1, unless we see something right now. Ball in the box, cleared out by Rafupi.
Burn. Off corner. It's going to go out to midfield. Gone there. Good center, and Rafupi gets a good demo, but there is one more defender, and he clears it, and actually takes a shot with that clear. Gone. Back passes to Misty. A bit of a dangerous play, but it works out. That's off ground. One and E brings it to ground and wins this game.
Yeah, a great start for 1NE in this one. They looked a bit faster out of the gates, even though it was Hanagumi who did get that opening kickoff goal. The retaliation strike from Misty, and then another 3 on top of that gives 1NE a fairly comfortable game 1 victory. I liking what I'm seeing from this 1NE side. Is looking like more of the same. However, that's not to say Hanagumi did not have their opportunities. And again, I'm not expecting that flurry of offense to continue in this series. I am expecting defenses to tighten up. This might even be that highest scoring game. I do expect to see a few less unforced errors, a bit cleaner gameplay. And when that happens, we'll actually see who has a better grip on this series as a whole.
Yeah, and totally agree. Hanagumi may have lost this, but they weren't looking bad. A little bit of errors on defense at times, but 1NE had those as well. 1NE probably just more conversions went really, really well. Misty there with 4 goals on the board, all of the goals on the team. Similar shots, actually more shots for Hanagumi than 1NE that time as well. But just couldn't get them into the back of the net. 1NE's defense holding up really, really well there. I think Hanagumi doing really, really well. Just a little bit of tweaking involved, and this is going to be a very, very close match.
I think one of the critical things as well that was going 1NE's way were those 50-50s, a lot of the times actually done by Misty. Misty was absolutely phenomenal. You saw in the stat lines, it wasn't just the 4 goals, but 3 critical saves, winning a lot of those 50-50s, just being a general nuisance on both sides of the pitch. And that's something Hanagumi has to be careful of, otherwise he'll keep doing this. A 5th goal for Misty already in this series.
I don't know if Gon meant to get this down, but Misty read that as a pass so brilliantly. He was on that almost before it hit ground, and that was a fast downward touch. So really, really well gotten onto by Misty. Fast player.
You know, I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say that was intentional, as a matter of fact. And it's just another 50-50 being delivered right into 1NE's hands. It's something that they've been doing so well. Misty, great pass. This time, though, it will be challenged as Burn is continuing to try and get himself more involved in this game. A beautiful throw to Olpex, but intercepted by who else but Misty. Again, that general nuisance everywhere on the pitch.
Burn gets that well downfield. It's well to the corner, but not going to be centered. Xiaolong was up against that orange backboard. Couldn't really do anything from that position. Gone. Good pass. Revoir misses, and it goes down to ground. Burn long, long lob across field. And back again from Misty.
What a defensive touch right there, and I have to question what is going on with the middle of the pitch play for Hanagumi. That clear should not have been able to go through. That said, Vern able to turn it right back around, tries to deliver it to Xiaolon, but a bit too tight, and the defense is able to make that read. Rapupi doesn't make the play on the corner, which means Olpek should be able to clear it, but he loses possession, and those are those unforced errors that I was a bit worried about coming from the Hanagumi side. When they have those openings, they cannot afford to carelessly give that ball right back, and right now Gon is looking to set up that punish.
And he's got the boost to do it. He's taken the boost from the corner. He's now up. He's got the backboard. He might have it. Misty will clean it up as it goes down from that backboard. What a play.
I don't know if Gon was looking for the setup or not, but he is very fortunate to have Misty right there underneath again. Very similar to the first goal of this game, although a bit closer to the goal, not quite in the middle of the pitch like we saw before, but it's the second time Gon puts the touch on the ball, just delivering it right into the lap of Misty, who's able to bang it in. By the way, that is now 6 goals for Misty so far in the series. Every single goal coming from 1NE has been from Misty right now. He is playing out of his mind when it comes to striking the ball.
Read by Misty. It's going to go long. Xiaolon should be able to take it as a pass, but Gon reads that very well. All picks, miss. Misty at the midfield, gets a second touch. That'll go down wall to Gon. Good touch to backboard, but Burn is there. He'll not be able to grab that boost before it's robbed from him by Gon as well. And it finally goes back to that orange side.
Yeah, but getting it to the orange side is really not enough right now, and this is the player who I want to see step up, Burn. We were talking about him before. It looked like he was going to have another amazing performance with that opening kickoff, but since then, he's actually been relatively quiet, and for Hanakumi to have that success, Burn has to get a bit more activated. Here comes a shot from Gon. It's going across the net and in. 3-0 for 1NE.
Gon, when he shoots, just always seems to have amazing placement as well. That's very, very well placed behind Xiaolon. Nobody able to get to that, and was never going to get saved when you've got that accuracy.
Also, something else I want to point out right there, Misty was going for a shot. Rapupi was the one who turned it into a pass. He's actually the one who kind of made that save, and it's because he read the defense, maybe, but I'd also like to think, you know, somewhere deep down inside he's thinking, you know what, Misty, you've scored enough goals already. We don't want all these points getting to your head. We're going to share the love right now and go ahead and let Gon put one in. After all, he's been the one setting you up so much, so true team player Rapupi right there on that. Now, for Hanagume, they are running out of time in the second game, and they don't want to be put in that reverse sweep situation. Granted, this is still going exactly as you predicted, though, isn't it, Gex?
Yeah, fairly well. Exactly what I was thinking so far. But that's gonna be the game 3 will be the one to decide whether this goes my prediction or not, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, it will be exciting, but when we're looking at game number 2, it has been all dominated by 1NE. Poor Hanagume. They haven't really been able to get anything going. Only 1 shot so far by the blue side compared to the 8 coming from 1NE. And if that doesn't sort of exemplify the amount of offensive pressure that 1NE has been able to hold on to, I don't know what will. We might see a second shot right now from Xiaolon, but nope. Shut down by Rapupi before it can get pushed forward.
Burn touched that up high and actually made it easier to clear that over him there. Unfortunately, Xiaolon can't get up for that time. Burn touch to the corner and chase it himself. Trying to get that past Rapupi, does so. Good ball control. Gone. 50s. Gonna go to Xiaolon. Good touch on that to get that pass gone. It's gonna go to Wall. Look for the center. Qualifier is on that though. Misty up as well. Bit of a double commit. Xiaolon though has to take that back to his own side if he wants to keep control.
Good touch from Gon as well. No one really going to take that and turn it into a shot, at least initially. Misty going for a backboard setup. Read by Olpix, but with time working against Hanagumi, they need more than good defensive touches. They need to turn it into a counterattack, and unfortunately, time will not be on their side in this one. A dominating performance coming from 1NE will put them on match and qualifying point.
Yeah, 1NE really doing well tonight. There's another one going in, just taking one more to that next match, making sure they've got that momentum and got the headspace they want to be in. It's a good shot too.
Yeah, a beautiful little shot from Gon right there, forcing the own goal again. It's not really an own goal according to the formal definition if the ball was going to go in anyways. But Hanagume, they need to find a strong answer right now. They're going to be forced into that do or die situation. And to go through an entire game with only one shot on target just is not going to be good enough to beat 1NE.
Yeah, really unfortunate play from Hanagumi so far. I don't know what's happening there. They sometimes seem to be really, really fantastic, like top of Asia, and then other times they just have these moments where they just fail to meet that mark. Burn, as I said, I think Burn is one of the best players in Asia right now, but he's just not able to pull out the plays that we expect from him. I want to see some passing plays out of Hanagumi, some,
Something.
yeah, something high play, anything.
Yeah.
Come out of Hanagumi.
I just want to see something come from Hanagume right now. And while, yes, Burn is that player we highlighted, and granted, he's the one person who did find that shot, 3 saves as well. I'm actually looking at Shaolon. I'm looking like Olpix and thinking, when are they actually going to be able to step up and sort of play at the level that is expected from them? Granted, I mean, I joked about this before, but perhaps it is true. It could be that slow burn, both figuratively and literally, when Burn is on the Hanagumi side, setting up for that reverse sweep. I mean, we've already had the server die on us, right? That's usually the omen that something crazy is about to happen, and I'm starting to feel it. Hanagume, they don't want to play in week 2. They're used to being down 2-0 against 1NE, and 1NE, again, they always start off strong, and sometimes they struggle to finish, so I'm not writing them out just yet, but I'm going to need to see a lot more than what we just saw in that second game.
Yeah, and we've seen Hanagumi take down teams of this caliber so many times before. They've done well against Oryx before. They've done well against 1NE before. They can do this, but they need to get in the right headspace, get to the ball faster, more consistently, and get some passes to each other. Keep possession when they've got the ball. If they can't make some plays out of that and force pressure on 1NE, they're not going to be able to make this series theirs.
And, the other thing as well on top of that is that, like, the Asian region as a whole is so emotional in terms of momentum, can always play such a major component in these games. If Hanagume can get out there, get another kickoff goal, similar to how they started this series, and then maybe find a second quick goal, they might just wrestle control of this entire losers final right back into their possession. It only takes 1 or 2 kind of breaks going their way, and all of a sudden we could be looking at a series again. So I'm excited to see what will come down. We are getting ever closer to this big final game, potentially, at least this final series. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, as much as I'm talking up, as much as Hanagumi might be able to pull it off, 1NE, they're looking so good right now. It is hard to kind of pick against them.
Yep, I absolutely agree. But in saying that, 1NE has had a history with choking at the last moment. We have seen many a sweep against 1NE in the last casted match of a tournament, and I don't think we're gonna see that tonight, but they've surprised me in the past, and they may be able to do it again.
Yeah, sorry, just losing a little bit of composure on my end right now as getting some strange Discord notifications popping up. We're gonna ignore them for now. I'm not sure I want to know what bulge.jpg exactly is at this stage. However, we have a pass back to Misty right now, trying to push the ball forward. Will be caught by Burn, who's going to try and play through the corner as well. Will get challenged by Rapupi, but getting that demo as well. Hanagume, they're coming at the ball faster. They're trying to force these opportunities, and I'm liking the demos. In fact, I want to see more from it. Let's get 1NE a bit off balance and create some action from there. Olpix does get that first goal, and this is exactly what Hanagume needs.
Yeah, we said we wanted to see something. Olpix is like, fine, I'll show you something. Hammers a flip reset into the top left corner. What a beautiful play.
That was a thing of beauty and exactly what Hanagume needed. And this is what I was hoping to see from them. Get a critical first goal. Get OPEX a bit more involved and get that momentum back on the blue side of the pitch. And again, they are not relenting. The ball again in a dangerous position. Rapupe doing what he can, but he doesn't do it fast enough. That burn is already there looking for the punish. That ball is in the box, but gone. Finally able to get the clear. He turns it into a pass off the backboard. Who's there? It was Misty, but he misses the ball.
Yeah, Misty with not the best read I've seen tonight from him. Normally you leave an opportunity like that for Misty and he will take it, but just not this time. Burn now looking for that pass. It's a good one too, but nobody close enough to make any use of it. Olpix now, good pressure and good rotation from Hanagume on attack here. Now gonna come back off another attempt here, Shaolon. Olpix gonna come off ceiling. Nobody there to take the shot for once, and it was the opportunity, unfortunately.
I love Shaolon's bump on Misty as well, shutting down Rapupi's option to pass the ball and look for that quick counterattack, and now it's opening the door for Olpix to maybe create something for Hanagume. Again, Burn doesn't get the shot. Shaolon is there, but he can't quite wrangle control of the ball. Olpix instead is going to throw it up instead of taking the shot, and maybe I would have liked to see Hanagume take a few more risks, try to bang that ball straight. The goal looked open. The opportunity looked like it was there. Instead, the score will remain 1-0.
Yeah, a couple of missed opportunities there for Hanagume, and when they're only up by 1 right now, it's not enough of a buffer on a team like 1NE to rest on. They need to take those opportunities and shoot on target when those arise.
That said, though, there has been far more opportunities in this game alone, really, than we've seen have for Hanagume throughout games 1 and 2. This is that turnaround I was sort of half expecting. Rapupi, though, going to try and force a bit of offense, gets demoed for his issue. Gon throws it back to the middle. Misty was not quite there. No boost. It means no power behind that shot. And Burn makes it quite a simple catch. Misty, though, again, will try and play through that corner. Shaolon there, and even that attack just almost felt half-hearted from NE. They're not really able to keep that sustained pressure there, something they were relying on in game number 2, and I'm starting to get a bit worried for this orange side.
In saying that, good read there, and the 50 is going well again, like we were talking about. Revoir off ceiling, that's not a good touch. It's going to be a shot. Misty blocks that away. Revoir up for a second touch is useful as Olpix was available. Misty now trying to fake out. Burn doesn't manage to do it. It's going to go high, but it is a very dangerous position. Misty finally with a big clear, but Olpix is available. Shaolon with a chance. It goes high and comes off the top corner of that ceiling and out of danger.
Misty as well trying to see what they can do. Only gets that ball into the corner. Olpix now pushing forward, looking for that punish. Gets another touch in the corner. Shaolon has a golden opportunity, but is not quite fast enough to it. And Misty stops Burn in his tracks with that last-second defensive touch. 1 minute remaining. Hanagume, they want that reverse sweep. Rapupe doing what he can, trying to get that ball down to the blue side, trying to find the opening to equalize this game, but the rest of the team just is not there.
Gone jumps at that. It was a very, very fast cross there off that pinch. Rapupi up, pass to Gon, back again, in corner now. Shaolon can handle that. 50-50 does not go Gon's way. It's an opportunity. Olpix makes the shot, and there is 2 up for Hanagume.
And just when you thought maybe this was going to be a quick series, maybe the script was finally broken, Hanagume, well, they are not dead yet. They have come back in game 3 with a vengeance as they have taken control of this one. 2-0, 30 seconds remaining. One would have to think they have done enough to take us to a game 4.
And Shaolon there actually made the really key play. There was one defender left and just got a really nice touch. Should be in. Misty can make it happen off of Revoir carrying that all the way upfield.
Yeah, and I mean, already it was really a 3-part play. Rapupi with the clear, Misty with the goal, but Gon as well with the bump on the other side of the pitch to really stop the only defender from having a chance to make the save, getting there to begin with. And now 19 seconds remaining. This kickoff, very critical. It doesn't go 1NE's way, but they still have 13 seconds to work with.
Turned it around very quickly. Revoir can send it up. Gon's going to have to do something with this, but Burn is there. Misty turns on it. Olpix sends that up high. Gon available. Down to Revoir. They can't hold it up, and Hanagume get their first match back on 1NE. Could this be the start of that scripted reverse sweep?
I mean, it's starting to look like it. A complete shift in momentum. Exactly what I was looking for from Hanagumi. They woke up. Olpix in particular, a phenomenal game. Obviously got both of those goals. And really, they kind of came from strong individual efforts. Yeah, Xiaolon will get credit for one assist, but the other one was all Olpix and the touches he was making. Not wanting to go down without swinging. 5 shots from this player as well. This was the Hanagumi I was expecting to see. And again, showcasing that momentum, such a big thing in this region. It just takes 1 or 2 plays to really fire up your team, or sometimes demoralize your opponents and get yourselves right back into this one. 1NE, what can they do to try to wrestle control of this series?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I think 1NE's been doing fairly well. They just need to make sure that everything they're doing better. I don't think that they need a new strategy. They just need to make sure that they cover the mistakes they're making, and that's about it. But I'd like to point out, Burn was actually at the bottom of the Hanagumi player board, only by 1 point, but Olpix and Xiaolon really stepped up that game, and that was the major difference on their team. Olpix and Xiaolon popped off them.
Absolutely, and again, I can't sing enough praises for Olpix in his performance in that 3rd game, but 1 game is not enough. They still got to take 2 more if they want to survive the side of 1NE and qualify with the last chance of the day. They don't want to play again. They've already run a quite significant long loser's gauntlet, and to fall short, well, that is nothing short of heartbreaking in and of itself. Olpix with possession of the ball, trying to clear past mid-pitch. Instead, it's actually an awkward touch from Misty. Xiaolon will be the first one there, tries to get the shot on target. Rapupe does enough initially. Olpix has a chance to shoot it, but it's Rapupe winning the 50. Xiaolon somehow gets back in time. Misty looking to punish, but Burn is already underneath the ball.
Yeah, Xiaolon had a really good touch there to save that. It looked like it was going to run away from them, but he got back just in time and made that miracle save. Misty can't quite find the 50 he needs. Gon does though. Revoir will send that to corner for safety. And across pitch again. Misty with the save.
The reflexes from Misty right there. That shot from Olpix just coming from absolutely out of nowhere. And again, Olpix just putting so many shots scarily close to being on target right now. This player is absolutely dominating the pitch at this stage, and 1NE, they haven't quite found that answer yet since she has come online. Another one on target. This time it's going to go in, and Olpix has gotten 3 goals in a row himself for Hanagumi.
I hate seeing this. Revoir thought that he had the space to go inside goal and just wiped himself out on the post and was not available for that save whatsoever. A nice touch, but not what you want to see from 1NE.
Not at all, and this is again going back to that momentum point. Unforced errors now popping up their ugly head on this 1NE side, something you've got to be fearful of, as already you can see 1NE, perhaps they're starting to get a bit more of that edge. Misty gets the demo, trying to set up the rest of his team. Unfortunately, not quite there just yet. Shot from Misty should be saved by Xiaolon, waiting for the last possible second to really get that touch on the ball. Great control coming from the Hanagumi player.
Revoir ducking in for that boost. They're really trying to starve this blue team, but what they need to look for is shots right now. They're 1 down. It is a good strategy, but only if you can keep on that pressure, and right at this point in time, it's looking like Hanagumi is going to push out and get their own pressure started here. Burn going to take an actual shot there. It was a decent one too. Gon had to go up early on it. Misty now to the side wall. He's going to try and get it past Xiaolon. It does go past off a good 50. Misty now can't quite get it past Burn for that center. Olpix back to Burn. Good opportunity here. Has 1 to beat. Misty reads the flick. Gon goes for another touch. Gon is unavailable.
Oh, he's
back
there.
now.
He's there.
And Misty sends it in without Gon's help.
I mean, it was a fake all along, right? You fake being disconnected, you confuse the defense, and then your teammate just shoots it right where you were before. Clearly, as organized right there from 1NE. Not sure exactly what went down right there. What I do know, though, is that we are once again tied, and 1NE still in position to perhaps end this series in game number 4. And the opportunity from Xiaolon will get stopped by Misty initially, and 1NE trying to find that counterattack. Burn accidentally throwing the ball backwards. Rapupi there to catch it, but Xiaolon able to make a play off the backboard and push it back towards the orange side of the pitch.
Misty, try and flick, can't get it over Burn. Burn takes it to wall, looking for pinch. Gets a small one, it's gonna go out mid, but there's a double commit from Olpix and nobody's available to take a pass. That's gonna go to backboard. Misty, looking for another center. It's gonna go well. Xiaolon though, out to Burn. Good passing play so far. Takes it downfield. Xiaolon in great position to read that. Revoir off backboard, looking to carry this
Reset?
flip reset.
Why? All right,
Yeah,
I mean,
couldn't do
nice
anything with
reset.
that.
Didn't really do anything except for open the door for Olpix, who nearly finds that goal. Just over a minute, or under a minute and a half remaining. Ball in the box. Bird, get there. Yes, he does. And he's going to take a critical lead for Hanagumi with just 77 seconds left.
Absolute chaos in the box from 1NE, and Burn just kept his head, and that composure just brings that out into the box with an open goal and gets him their second point, on the board.
Yeah, it's 2-1 right now. Let's see what 1NE can do to answer. They really would like to get this equalizer. They don't want this to go to a game 5, but they only have a minute to find it. Burn trying to set up perhaps a opportunity for Hanagumi as well to get that, sinking goal, that equalizer, not get rid of it all. Words being said, none of them making sense, just like some of this gameplay as everyone's challenging everything. Burn going up for it. Misty, the only one on defense, does get a touch on the ball, and that will be enough to stop the attack for now.
Quite a good clear, actually, as Xiaolon has control now. Not going to be able to get it past Revoir. There's a big pass. It's not really what Misty was looking for. He's got ball control, but Revoir now down to Gone, possibly whiffs on both sides there. Rapupi passing down yet again, looking for somebody from backboard to take it to. Misty's available, but Olpix is faster. Into corner. Backboard can't be found, and closing seconds.
I don't see it. I don't see it happening. In fact, it's going the other way. Xiaolon nearly finding a third goal to really ice that game. As it stands, Hanagumi will hold on. They take game number 4, and it's just as you said, Gex. Aren't you excited? One game away from that reverse sweep.
Straight out of the playbook for 1NE, unfortunately, but they do have one game to prove us wrong. To avoid that reverse sweep. Hanagumi, though, doing really, really well. They went through 2 very, very tough games and had to pull their mindset out of that bad state. As soon as they've done that, they've worked so well as a team now, and have kept that aggression up, kept the teamwork going, and they're looking really, really good.
They are looking absolutely phenomenal, and you compare this Hanagumi to the Hanagumi that we saw in game number 2, where they only put 1 shot on target the entire game. It's been night and day, and now we are going to that game 5 to determine the final team qualifying for the main event here in the week 1 qualifiers. Our number 1 versus our number 2 seed in a game 5 on Champions Field. Last series of the night. It does not get any better than this here at APL.
Gone. Gets that out. Burn is available for the read it on that though. Misty, bit of a lame touch. Gone has to save. Olpix had a booming shot there on dead center of goal. I actually thought that was going to be in.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be in as well, but instead it might be 1NE who will try to find that opening goal. Olpix now another opportunity, gets the ball to the backboard after an awkward touch from Rapupi, but Gone able to beat out Burn. Does mean the defense will hold for now. Xiaolon a chance. He actually whiffs it. Olpix following through. Was it a fake? If it was, Misty it was able to make that read and stop the play in its tracks.
Misty with a good defensive pinch. Goes all the way to the opponent's corner. Revoir. Good stop there. And Olpix will carry that downfield. Gets Misty. Revoir gets a decent touch, but it's an opportunity. Xiaolong, good touch, gone, makes a touch. Misty barely saves a goal that was just trickling in.
I want to see that from the other angle, but hold that thought, because Gon has just found the first goal in this game, and it's going in 1NE's favor. Olpix didn't do enough in that 1v1 situation, and Gon able to get it through. 1NE saying no more scripts today. We are going to try and hold on to this lead. We are going to save that reverse sweep, and Hanagumi, they're now under the pump. Burn on the kickoff, open net, just did not have the right touch.
Misty demoed on ceiling. Xiaolong with a shot. Oh, that was very nearly a very nice demo play.
Oh my goodness, so many near attempts, so many near misses right now coming from Hanagumi and 1NE on those small opportunities that they get. They have been able to capitalize, at least so far in game number 5. Rapupi finding himself a great touch, nearly opening the door for Misty, but he'll get a second chance, has the reset, has the pinch. Where's the third man gone? Unable to get up high enough for it, but Misty's there. Xiaolong, an even better touch. Is it dunk? Is it accurate? You know it is. We are tied with just under 3 minutes to go.
And to script we go, 1-1. Xiaolong, what a great read on that. That was quite the dunk. The reversal there coming out, and Hanagumi getting their first point on the board and evening this game up.
Just under 3 minutes left, a tied game, number 5 qualifier on the line, reverse sweep on the line as well. Burn looking to lead that charge. Misty goes up for it, but is able to get a touch. It's not the best touch. Xiaolong looking to punish. Olpix waiting just outside the box, but Rapupi is able to take it over the top. Pass back to Misty, intercepted by Xiaolong. Opening perhaps. That angle is. Xiaolong has just taken the lead for Hanagumi.
And it's good control from Xiaolong here as well. He had patience. He waited for Misty to just make, you know, half a second of error there. Took control of the ball and got it to that net.
In a game of momentum, what must 1NE be thinking right now? Another reverse sweep against us, and when it matters most in that loser's final, well, maybe they can turn their fortunes around. Gon is there, but the shot's not quite accurate. Rapupi keeping the danger level high. Finally, it's Burn who gets that clear, forces the ball back towards the middle of the pitch, but Gon still looking to push it right back forward. Xiaolong with the fake does not fake out Misty. Rapupi keeping those type angles, keeping the pressure on. Pass back across the middle, Gon there. Take it off the backward. Misty goes up again, trying to take it to the corner. All these fake shots. When will the trigger be pulled? If it will be pulled, not today, as Olpix finds the clear.
Good pass back to Xiaolong off that backboard. Xiaolong back to Olpix. Good center. Burn is up. Good touch. Misty will clear that. It's a good clear. It should be followed. One to beat, and nobody gets there before Xiaolong comes basically off his backboard for that.
Yeah, and this is going to lead to a waterfall setup. The demo is there as well, yet no one from Hanagumi is able to pull that trigger. 1.5 minutes remaining. Ball screeching towards the net, but it's stopped for now. Olpix playing so deep, trying to find that 2-goal cushion, trying to find that go-ahead point. Shot might come from Burn. It's challenged. They lose out. Ball in the box. Gone underneath. Can't get it past Olpix.
Revoir has the clear. Will go to Gon on the wall. He's waiting. Looking to read Burn. It's not going to work. Goes in for a good center, but Burn has control again. Gon forces that up to ceiling, but Burn is under it. Couldn't find the reset, but out of boost as well. Misty takes it past Olpix. Should get a demo, and Xiaolong does. Olpix can just keep the control from Rapupi for as long as he needs there. Misty barely makes a touch there that is desperate.
Yeah, it's scary. Double commit as well. Semi-open net, although Misty and Rapupi are able to get there, but the ball still sails over the top, and Burn showing up when it matters most to give that 2-goal cushion. This might have been the icing on the reverse cake sweep. Burn getting it done. 2-goal lead, under 40 seconds. 1NE, they are running out of chances tonight.
And that's the mechanics I expect from Burn too. Got a great touch to ceiling, reads it perfectly and shoots it downward into goal. Really amazing shot for a one-man play.
Perhaps, but there still are 30 seconds to go, and the ball is on the blue side of the pitch. 1NE, they need to score on this opportunity, but already the defense gets the touches. Already there is Burn down the pitch, getting bumped, stopping the third man from pushing forward. They are shutting 1NE down on every facet of this game. 10 seconds to go. It's not going to happen. The reverse sweep will go Hanagumi's way, and from a game, again, with only one shot on target to winning 3 in a row, Hanagumi are your third and final qualifying side.
Well, I called it, Max, and
You did.
I don't know if I'm proud of that. I would love to see 1NE come out and win one of these days, but it's not today. Hanagumi takes our last qualifying spot for today, and 1NE will have to go through yet another round next Sunday. Oh, what a series that was. Absolute heartbreak for the 1NE fans, and Hanagumi just pushing through the tough stuff to take back that game. You saw the good plays from Shaolon, you saw them from Olpix, and right at the end there we saw that one great goal from Burn as well. You've got to be happy if you're a Hanagumi fan.
I feel like, you know, Hanagumi is going to go right up there with the likes of your KT Rollsters or your TSMs or any of these teams that always just build you up and at times will break you down. Heartbreak once more for 1NE, but it's not a completely shattered heart. They will still have a second chance next week in our second qualifiers, and they won't have the likes of Hanagumi there to kind of spoil their fun, but at that same token, there were still a lot of good teams that didn't make it through today. Another big name I'm looking at, of course, is Ooga Booga as well, who they didn't really quite have the performance they were looking for. Obviously, some of those other teams as well that stepped up today that we got to see on stream. You know, the likes of ERA, I think there's a lot of good things I saw from that team moving forward. So it's not as if this second qualifier is going to be a walk in the park for this, what should be superstar lineup, at least within the Asian region.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of really good stuff left. It's actually going to be a very, very intense day too when we come around to that on Sunday next week. You definitely want to tune in for that. But before we sign off, we've got messages in Twitch chat, and we even have messages in the APL Discord chat requesting that you give the people what they want. Max, give the people what they want, and
Well,
and we might even get to see if the rumors are true about what goes on below the desk there as well.
I mean, look, okay, I'm going to address that one right now. Yes, it is true. We try to go formal up top, but underneath, yeah, it is all Jorts, baby. All Jorts all the time. That is what we do here in Australia. As for the fridge, look, I want to give the people what they want, but I'm a bit of a showman as well, all right? You have to tune in next week to see what's inside that fridge. That little bit of incentive, you know, to come back next week. That's the game we're going to play. I already showed you under the desk.
The chat.
Exactly. I showed you under the desk. You see what's under there, all right? You know, party down below, formal up top. That's how it's supposed to go. But next week, I think we'll crack that bad boy open and see what's inside.
You'll have to stay tuned, but yes, we do have one more week. It's going to be a big one. We've had some fantastic games today, and it's only going to get better. We have 2 more weeks left. We have the next qualifiers, and we have the finals. It's all sponsored by Psyonix. $44,500 prize pool split across Asia and the Middle East. So stay tuned to APL, and we will catch you next time. It has been a fantastic run. We're out.